Speaking of albums with good songs that are worth a listen, except they don't have any weak songs,
Ooh.
Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows are back with their first album in 11 years called Destroy, Rebuild. Not to use the introduction for the album as a spoiler to how I feel about it, but this is the best album of June, and I don't think it's close.
You know what?
I'm gonna be honest. I liked Memphis May Fire a lot.
Yeah, I think Memphis May Fire takes it.
I also think Memphis May Fire is better than this, but both those albums are sitting in my top 10 albums of the year currently. So,
I was about to say, not to do a spoilery thing, but Memphis May Fire is in my top 5, and this is sitting comfortably above it. So,
I've done some mental math in my head, and I'm not going to say anything more.
Yeah, yep. We'll leave it there. I first found out about this band from my coworker back when I worked in a restaurant in my dish pit back when I was listening to Glass Hands. And he was I should have taken him to the Crown the Empire tour because he's very much a 2010s scene kid. He met Skrillex,
That tour was like nostalgia because Crown the Empire playing the Fallout. The Word Alive is playing a lot of songs from Life Cycles because it's the 10-year anniversary of that album as well. And then you have Drugs.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I guess he showed me their debut album from 2011 or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. It's all right. I enjoy it. And then we get this. What a comeback. If I had to wait another 11 years for this band to drop an album and have it be as much better than this as this is from that first album, I'd wait. This is, not to say that debut album wasn't good. It was amazing.
I saw them on the bill for Crown the Empire. So that's how I discovered this band, basically. I saw it on the bill for Crown the Empire, so I'll check them out. That album was so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Craig Owens is he's always been at the top of the game. I feel like just on so many levels. And I think that really shows because he's been around, I guess, in the scene, in various projects, working behind the scenes, whatever, for pretty much a duration of since Drugs dropped their first album, I guess. And I think that experience has served him well to be able to come back and create a song for this, or an album for this project that not only stands up and sounds, relevant to now, but also simultaneously is better than a lot of what's coming out now and still somehow manages to sound nostalgic. Oh man, I don't know. I want to give a shout out to the diversity on this album. That you've got something like Are We Not Drawn Onward to New Era, which is probably one of the more creative songs I've heard all year. There's a lot of variation in song structure, in the way that the instruments play out. Something like The Arm, which to me feels wildly creative and also works extremely well as a closer.
Yeah.
You need to have the one ballad per album, right? The one that starts off slow and builds and explodes. And I think that, honestly, The Longest Road is probably the best example of that I have heard.
They played it live.
Oh, I need to go find a video of that. Honestly, The Longest Road is sitting comfortably in my top 10 songs of the year right now. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of this album, quite frankly. But yeah, even that, there's Supercalifragilisticexistential Crisis, which is probably my favorite song title of the year so far.
That's my favorite actually, maybe not my favorite non-single. I don't know. I really like The Arm. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All of them are up there for me.
Yeah.
Gold, and even the singles that didn't quite sell me when I went back and listened to them before the album dropped. It's not even like it's in the context of the album because they're like all kind of near each other, you know?
Yes,
but
they're all right next to each other.
Yeah, but they sound so good now. I don't know what changed. I don't think anything changed. I just went into the album and I was like, holy fuck. Like,
And
Gold, Satellites in Motion, Brighter Side. Oh my goodness.
and it's interesting because the lyricism feels the same
Mm-hmm.
as the first album, but at the same time, it also feels much more mature.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's same topics, but much more mature. And because like in the first the first album, he's called like his ex a whore, and now it's like it's more serious.
Mature. We could just leave it mature.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like that was what was going on. I mean, think of a Stand Up and Scream. You know,
I guess, yeah.
back that era, 2009, 2011, everybody in metalcore was calling their girlfriends a whore.
Yeah, and every song was like 10 words long.
Yeah.
The song name.
Yeah. But hell yeah, there's just so much to love here. Craig Owens sounds so fucking good. Oh my goodness. Those high notes, the range that he demonstrates on this album is impeccable. Besides, again, not to like, I'm like throwing out my top 10 albums of the year right now, but I feel like I haven't hit it very much. Besides like Dreamwake, this is the album that I heard this year that I was most like floored by because I didn't really know that they were coming out with new material. I thought Drugs was done. And so when you told me that they were coming back and I didn't really have any idea what to expect and I felt indifferent about the singles and then we get to this album and it's just banger after banger after banger. And I just kind of had to like lean back in my chair and experience it. Like this is definitely one of those albums I feel like that you were just along for the ride to enjoy all of what this band has to offer. Just incredible.
I remember we talked about Brighter Side as a single in one of our other episodes. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this song's fine, but like I didn't really care too much about it. Like it was fine. But then the album comes around and I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I'll listen to it. You've been hyping it up a lot. Like Jacob, I know you were
that was my favorite single.
you were
Mine
like
too.
really like you really seemed to be on the wave for this band as like something special. So I'm like, all right, let me see what's up. And it starts with Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And that opening riff comes in and the fast-paced first verse and I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be fun, huh? And then the chorus comes around. One of my favorite choruses of the entire year, period. When I wake up, put the past aside, no, we can't make up, I've got a different lie. The vocal delivery on that is so fucking good. It's incredible. And then it's just followed up by incredible song after incredible song. Albeit, Gold is one of the more underwhelming songs on this album for me.
Oh.
Sorry. But Satellites in Motion, that chorus is in my head. I think Brighter Side is incredible. Outcast versus Everyone is one of the more underwhelming songs on here, but that chorus is still stuck in my head. Supercalifragilisticexistential is really fun. The Longest Road, fantastic build. The ending, I haven't spent as much time with just because Destiny is so good, in my opinion. But I want to make mention of Gravity, My Ever Ghost being a fantastic song.
Yes.
Especially that the call out before the breakdown, You Are My Ever Ghost, before the riff comes in. I really liked that. Next to, probably my second favorite breakdown on the album, next to Destiny. Abyss Watching Me was the biggest surprise of the month. This, like, any other month of the year, this would be my biggest surprise of the month, basically. But fuck June, you know?
It is. It's fuck June. But also, God bless June for giving us an album like this. Because, wow.
I love June, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a love-hate relationship with June the entire time, okay? I've never explicitly just hated June. Half of my top 10 albums of the year came out in June, okay?
Lyrically, this album is... It means a lot to me. That's what I'll say. Everything, like, you can feel the emotion and anger in Craig's voice. And I gotta say, hearing him live or not seeing him live, I guess. His eyes are so fucking deep if you look into them. It's actually kind of
Yo! Hey, yo! Well, depth is certainly, like you said, reflected in this album. I mean, just all around incredible. Just incredible. Drugs are back in a big way.
Do we know
And
if
now that
they're
I've
here to
said that,
stay or?
I have no idea. I'd assume
I sure hope
I
so.
would think so.
I sure hope so.
So since we got the Crown the Empire, Johnny's Revenge, we got the Craig Owens feature on that, and they're touring.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's too much more. Well, no, there is one other thing we haven't mentioned yet.
Being?
Justin.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Wait.
Justin.
Because I remember we thought Justin was gonna love this one.
Yeah.
No
No way.
No.
Something's wrong.
Moving
with
on.
the temperature.
Justin, blink twice if you're
Huh?
okay.
I'm okay.
Damn.
No,
No.
you didn't listen to this then. I don't believe it.
I listened to it.
Okay, so top 3 songs. Go.
Gold, Waiting on You, and Satellites in Motion.
Okay, so he at least listened to it. He likes it to some extent. We'll give him we'll give him a pass.
It's something about the vocals just not
needs
clicking with me.
improvement.
Wow. Wow.
Dude, I'm surprised. This feels like a quintessential Justin album to me.
It does.
Something with the vocals, man. I don't know.
Man.
I'm
Damn
feeling
shame,
pain.
really.
Well,
Anyway.
at least the rest of us loved it.
Yeah.
I'm so
at least
glad
it's sitting in
Empire
3 out of 4 of our top 10 albums of the year for the moment.
Yeah. I don't see that changing.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, shut up.
Anything else to say on this album here, or are we done?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we've all, except, him.
Wow.
You shall not
right.
be named.
Justin, this is your fault.
Yeah. And
Yeah. And?
I don't have a problem with it.
Man, oh man.